Hello everyone, I'm back this evening to show you just a little video of things that I do. So if you've watched the last video, you saw that I posted about the Watercolor Confections, the classic set. And I had swatched them out here, and then I did a little bit of the color bands down here just to see how they would mix and do and play together. And so again, if you're interested in getting yourself a set, our website's here. It's www.smokyfiresightcreations.com. They are available in the shop. But one of the things that I like to do is I like to keep all of these little wrappers just so that I know if Prima eventually does the individual pans instead of the full pan set, then I know exactly which one I'll need. So for instance, say I run out of the purple, I know that the purple is number 8. And so if they ever do the individual pans for sale, then I know, then I'll know which ones to buy. So I've kept the wrappers here, so I'm going to do the wrappers and then I'll do a color swatch of each of the colors, just so that I can again have it in a different version. I like it this way, but I also like to see it in order of the wrappers that they give you with the palette. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the wrapper that coordinates with the number, and so you can see I've already filled out the little chart here, so even if you couldn't figure out which color it was, I know that the pink in this set is number 2. So I have the number 2 wrapper here that I'm just going to take with my tape runner, and it's not super fancy, but you know, it works for me. And so I just put a little strip of tape on the back, and then I'll keep a section for the color from number 1, and then so number 2 will be below here. So I'll just go down the row and I'll continue doing that until I'm finished. So instead of me talking your ear off the whole time, I think I'll just let you kind of watch me do this, and then if you're interested in doing the same thing with your watercolor palettes, then maybe I've inspired you to do so. This is something that I like to do with all of my watercolor palettes. If they come wrapped in individual wrappers like this, I like to keep them somewhere in a journal. So I think that this specific journal that I have here, I really like how well it played with the colors on the front. And this is not a watercolor book, but it's a little leather bound journal that I have that has an elastic closure, and it has handmade paper, and so I really like the look of that, and I liked playing in it the other night. I also posted a video of the color bands, so if that's something that you'd like to watch, that's on my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, this is just a way that I like to keep my things organized, make sure that if there ever is a time that they will come out with the individual pans, then I know for sure which color it is that I will need. And obviously I'll label this set at the top, the Watercolor Confections, the classic set, so I'll know exactly which set this is. And this is going to be the way that I keep track of all of them, because now that there's 5 sets, there's a little bit more to keep track of. And so I thought that would be a good way to kind of solve that problem. So yeah, we'll do it that way, and then see the wrappers, they all have the numbers on them, and then with the newer sets, like I mentioned in my other video, the newer sets do have names on them. So that's one thing that I think that they should do if they revamp the older sets again. I really like how they've included the card, and I really like how they've included the sticker on the front. Well, I think next, if they do some revamping, what I would do, instead of just calling these numbers, I would just go ahead and rename them, so that if you're like me, you like to know the names of your paint colors and everything like that, so you can go ahead and name them by colors. So most of my wrappers I was able to save and not rip. There's a couple that are ripped, but that's fine. All of the wrappers are clear to see the numbers on there. And so yeah, I'm just taping these on the back with my tape runner. I'm using the Sticky Thumb tape runner, which that's really my favorite for pretty much anything. I used to have an ETG gun or a tape runner gun, and it was just so big and bulky and took forever to feed the tape through, and it was just too big for my liking, so I actually gave that away because it was sitting in my stash unused. And so I gave it away to a friend who she actually loves it. I like a lot of the smaller ones, and this one I feel, the Sticky Thumb brand, I feel is just as sticky as the ETG guns that a lot of crafters seem to like. I'm just not one of those crafters. So as you can see, it's just really loosely done. So I've got them all taped down. They're not taped all the way. They might come up, that's fine. I could always attach them some other way, but I know I've got my swatches, my individual swatches, my color bands on the front. Then I've got my wrappers. And then I'm going to do my swatches of the individual colors again on the back. I'm not sure if that's something you guys want to watch because you've already seen me do the swatches for the others. But this is exactly what I'll do for each individual set. This is again the set, the classics. I will do this for each individual set. There are 4 more sets that I still have to go through and that I have to organize, and those will each have their own videos so that you guys can see the individual colors and the vibrancy of the paints. Again, this notebook is not watercolor paper, it's actually handmade paper, but I really like it, and so this is just for me personally, and so I really don't think it matters if it's watercolor paper or not. I think that's just personal preference if you want to use your watercolor paper. Or if you want to use a favorite journal. So I've kind of dedicated this journal to be my watercolor swatch book, my tester book, my my book that I kind of want to sort through everything, sort through supplies, kind of see how things do and play. And so that's kind of what I've deemed this book for. I can put a link below if you're interested in getting yourself a book like this one. I really liked that it had larger paper with the elastic closure. I thought that was kind of cool. That was one of the reasons that I picked up this journal, and it's real leather. And then I really liked the handmade paper. I've always thought handmade paper was cool. I wish I could make it myself. I don't have the time to make paper with everything else that I have to do daily. That's just not something that I have time for. So if you're watching, you're seeing that I'm just wetting the space down, and then I'm going in with my paintbrush and I'm adding a little bit of color to the area right below the tag. So again, I'm doing that for each individual color. Again, there are 12 colors in the set. The first few sets go by numbers instead of color names, but they are, when you get them, they are all wrapped individually, which I really liked. It's always nice, you know, when you get a new present or a new gift to kind of unwrap each individual single one. You know, it kind of feels like 12 individual gifts because you know, if you buy individual pans of color, say you buy an individual pan of Daniel Smith watercolor, or you buy an individual pan of whatever it is, whatever your favorite watercolor paints are, you know, in this one you get 12 individual colors for $24.99, which I really think is a wonderful price for what you're getting. These are so much fun to play with. I cannot tell you enough great things about the Prima watercolor confection sets. I will continue to do reviews on them. I will continue to use them in my watercoloring, in my coloring books, in my journals, in my notebooks, and pretty much anything you can think of. I will use these paints just because they are so portable. They are they're not very expensive. And I just really like the layout of the palette. I like the colors that they've chosen. And that's just the classic set. Guys, there are 4 more sets that I still have to show you. And I just cannot get over set number 1 and how wonderful the classics set is by Prima for the watercolor confections. So that is kind of what I'm going to do for each individual palette. So I'll do a swatch page on the front, I'll do the color banding on the front, and then I will take the stickers and do swatches below the stickers on the back of the page. So I will do that for the next 5 pages, and then, you know, when I get some new paints, I will take out this great journal and I will do it again. So I hope this gives you an idea or some bit of inspiration for maybe what to do with your watercolor palettes, how to set them up, how to connect with your watercolor palettes. I think that's a great thing to kind of familiarize yourself with your watercolor palettes, and just get used to using the paints that you have. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Let me know that you like it and you'd like to see more videos like this. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I would love to hear from you. If you guys have any questions or comments, please post those below. Again, I will post a link to the Watercolor Confections, the classic set by Prima, that's available in our store and on our website. So if you'd like to give that a look-see, that will be posted below as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you next time. Bye.